Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from PlanetModels. And this is quite an interesting thing because it's a 1/72 scale truck. It's a Fordson WOT2E, and as you can see, it's a British World War II 15-quarter truck. So we have here the commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and it will be quite an interesting thing to review. So that's why I decided to take a closer look. And by the way, the kit number is MV134, so it's made in Czech Republic, of course, and that's pretty much all. As you can see, packaging is quite simple. Here we have another label on the side, but that's pretty much all you get here. So without further ado, I will just open this box. It's easy thing to open. Well, not this time because the flap is slightly tight, but I will just lift the box. So as you remember, you should open it like that. So basically you just lift the bottom of the box. Here inside we have a bit of foam in order to protect the parts, and as you can see, this is actually the 3D printed kit, which makes it even more interesting. So I will start with orange parts, because here we have quite large sub-assemblies which are printed or made as a single piece element. So just give me a moment. I will take them out. Okay, so first of all, we have this rear section, and as I say, the design itself is quite interesting here because we have this rear tent or rear tarp actually printed in the special protecting frame, so quite a smart design in my opinion. And if you manage to cut it carefully from this frame, you will be able to actually to preserve the frame and use it maybe for some scratch building, because look at this bottom and top, they might be handy as a floor panels for some modern diorama. But overall printing quality looks good. If I bring it closer, you can see that the surface details are quite convincing, so it's just a matter of painting them properly and you will be good to go with your truck. Next we continue with another thing in the same design. So this is actually the rear wall with the roof, and as you can see, we have the canvas roof here. And the supports are quite thin, so I don't think it will be a problem to cut through them. And as you can see, the printing quality is on the same level. And next, last but not the least, in this plastic bag is the main chassis. Here I'm not sure what will have to be actually cut down. I guess all of the side supports as well, and this is quite interesting design because as you can see, with the 3D printing you're free to use the dimensional printing in whatever direction you would like to, so that's why it looks quite unusual. But I hope that assembly manual will actually guide us on which supports should be actually cut off and which are actually the part of the element, and they should not be erased. So definitely do not hurry while working with this stuff. It will make your life easier, because once you cut off something, then it will be a bit more difficult to preserve it in the proper shape. Now I'm taking out the resin parts. So we have here the classic resin as well, and they are packed into a separate Ziploc bag. So for example, here we have the front bonnet, and as you can see, it's molded with wheel fenders. We have the front mask separate, and of course, because it's a resin part, so if I flip it over, you can see that we do not get any engine inside, but we get some interior parts which will be useful for this small truck. Once again, the reminder is that these are 1/72 scale truck parts, so that's why the level of details we get here out of the box is really impressive. So here you can see, for example, the rear bed, and also here you can take a look inside. Okay, next, I think this was actually the 3D printed bed. Next we continue with one more part for the inner side, I guess. We will definitely have to check the assembly manual, because this looks like a floor panel, but I wonder where it will have to be placed. And here you can check it from the opposite side. So maybe you can open the rear section if you would like to, or you can use the version with the tarpaulin, which was 3D printed. Here we continue with the fuel tanks. They're casted as a single piece part, as you can see, so it's just a matter of getting them off the supports. Next we continue with the exhaust, which is a really small and thin part. You can see the size comparison with my fingertip, so definitely be careful while taking it off the support in order to preserve all the details. And what is interesting is that the passenger and driver's seat are molded as a single piece parts, or casted as a single piece parts as you prefer, and as you can see they look decent. Of course you can also play with weathering on this, because well, they definitely do not stay the stock looking parts. Next we have quite an interesting situation. I was going to show you the both rear and the front section of these parts, but as you can see, front and rear wheels are different, and of course it's good to have them as a single piece parts. I do not see the weight imitation here, so weight effect is definitely not replicated here. As you can see, there are plain on the opposite side, and also we do not have any features on the tire walls, which is rather strange for resin kit, but well, some modelers are fine with this, and in 1/72 scale I wouldn't say this is a feature I would insist on. Next we have a lot of small elements, for example the front headlights cases, also some books, or the actually these are not the books, this is more of the storage cases. And also we have the fire extinguisher. From what I can see, they're really tiny, so do not underestimate them. Try to use the special tools and definitely good CA glue so that they will be held in place properly. Here we continue with the radiator grille, which as you remember is casted separately, so it offers you a bit more features this way. And next we have the two last resin parts. Here you can see them. I'm not sure where they go, so we'll have to check the assembly manual, but they look as decent as the previous ones. But that's not all. We have one more plastic bag. Here we have the PE parts and also the, I can see the clear parts, decals, and there are actually two PE threads, so just give me a second. I'm trying to take all of this out. So clear parts will be replicated with this. This is a film, clear film, and you have to cut it according to the necessary portion of the windscreen. And well, if you wonder how the windscreen will be copied, so here it is. We will have to use the small PE parts, and this makes the whole kit, well, even though it's a resin kit, you can advise it to beginners, but with these elements, it's definitely something what can be made with some previous experience, so definitely do not start such project unless you have the decent skills. Here we have the second PE thread. As you can see, it's noticeably smaller, but it also features some useful parts for the truck. And last but not the least is the decal sheet. So this one is also quite tiny. I wonder how many marking options will be included into this kit, because we have the same number plates, but we have some different symbols. So maybe they will be helping to replicate some different marking. And that's what we will find out in this assembly manual. So I'm going to zoom out, and here you can see that there is no history note. So if you would like to learn more, definitely find some reference material, good one. Note that one part will stay unused. This is quite unusual for resin kits. And overall, that's the parts map for those who haven't noticed. Next, we continue with the assembly manual. So here, quite an interesting thing is that even the pedals will be copied with PE parts. This is something what is not expected from 1/72 scale kit. Of course, it's a welcome thing, but it will require some attention from you. And that's actually the frontal section, as you remember, which was molded together with the wheel fenders and also the bonnet. I'm just checking if it looks the same as what we have here. This is the front grille, which is casted separately. The steering wheel is also PE part here. Next we have also this main chassis. So as you can see, the side wheels, axles, they will have to stay in place actually. And next we also have the choice between open and closed rear bed, as I said before. Next we continue with the exhaust installation, and also there is some suggestion for the wire installation on the wheel axles in order to replicate the brake lines, I guess. Here we continue with the front ram, which is installed in front of the radiator grille. Again, you use the wire for replicating all of those items, but it's not written which thickness you will need for this, so definitely not a nice thing. You have to guess it. And note that the windscreen is actually assembled out of 3 elements, so we get the clear thing or clear layer enclosed in between the PE parts. Next, we continue with even more PE parts around the truck, and the same continues from the opposite side. By the way, the doors will be replicated with PE parts, so maybe you can even open them. And here you can see one and only marking option, exactly the same as what we saw on the box art. Those are the small ads for other kits. We reviewed some of them, so definitely check them out on our YouTube channel. And another kit, it's a Morris CS9, also in 1/72 scale. So this kit should be already available. You can get it on Special Hobby website. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such a list. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.